Thank you for joining me, Diana Master, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves across Namibia and beyond. In today's broadcast, Namco owes Namra $350 million Namibian. Gangob tears into South Africa over Saku and Orange River. And God shoots rapist and turns himself in. We'll be right back with our midday news update. In today's midday news update, the Namibia Institute of Professional Accountants has been admitted as a member of the esteemed International Federation of Accountants in Vienna, Austria. Feni Ngikevali, the Chief Executive Officer at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Namibia, delivered remarks at the celebratory ceremony in Namibia.
Means that they are able to achieve and comply with these aspects. So as the local sponsor, one of the requirements was for NEPA to have a local sponsor, which is ICANN. Because ICANN is already a member of IFAC, we really walked the journey with NEPA, and we have really seen the effort that NEPA has put into achieving this milestone. So without repeating, I think the earlier speaker, Franz, has already said so much about the importance of IFAC in the accounting profession, and I don't really want to repeat that, but I just want to make it clear that the influence of IFAC extends far beyond borders. So Namibia is just one small aspect of it, and it is really a beacon for accounting standards and practices. And we, as Namibian firms and individuals, we need to make sure that we really, adhere to these accounting standards and practices. Briefly also is the aspect, and it was also touched on professional development, and IFAC really provides these resources in order for the accounting profession to remain relevant. We need to continuously upskill, reskill, continuously educate ourselves so that we can be resilient in this very dynamic profession called accounting. And then ethics, which is also a very key aspect, ethics for the accounting profession, for NEPA, for ICANN, for any other professional accountancy organization, is really one of the core elements of the profession. It is almost ingrained in our DNA, and it is up to us as the profession to live up to the ethical standards. So again, just to stick within the 5 minutes, congratulations NEPA. Your achievement not only elevates NEPA, but it also positively reflects on the entire accounting profession, and not only NEPA, but to each and every member of NEPA that is going to benefit from this IFAC membership. Congratulations as well, and your dedication.
Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break. Stay with NMH at 1.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Getting into today's visual news clips, the mayor of Walvis Bay, Trevina Forbes, says that as a result of the fish rot fisheries corruption, people looking to become fishermen no longer move to the harbour town for a better life, but to suffer. Forbes made the remarks at a public meeting hosted by the Institute for Public Policy Research. The meeting was aimed at discussing the impact of the fish rot fisheries corruption on the local community. Nikano Nangolo has more.
The content, the years translate. Yes. So I guess the content, what we are trying to achieve through this engagement And I believe that once we embark on such a mission, we need to start at home, because everything that happens at home. We put trust in people that we break our trust, and yet we continue on this road. Some of these gentlemen sitting in the audience today have been at our office. We are now looking at industry that was so rich, and now the people working in that industry has been so affected to the point that they have become, allow me to say this, beggars. I'm very sorry to use that word, but that is what we as Walvis Bay has been reduced to. Where we are sitting, it's called the Namsov Center. We are here at the Namsov building. And just now I came from Renis, the area where Namsov is. And Namsov no longer exists. It's no longer there. Namsov had one of the biggest community trusts in the country that reached out to all over the country, all regions, was reached by this community trust, looking after the needs of some of our people in different regions. It's no longer there. Because of fish rot. Last week, a week ago, I was at the industry address where the Minister of Fisheries downplayed the effects of fish rot. And this was really a disappointment to me. So I think that first of all, we need to take responsibility, we need to take accountability of our actions locally. When you are a child and you do something wrong, you break the neighbor's window or whatever, it is your parents, the one that is responsible for you, that must go out to your neighbors and apologize for what you have done. Which means your parent must take accountability and responsibility for the actions of their child. And this has not been the case here in Namibia. Accountability and responsibility must first be taken by our government for what has happened to you in Walvis Bay. The fishing industry was the industry that brought life to this community of Walvis Bay. All other businesses stem from the fishing industry in our harbour. So it is unfair that we can just move on from what happened.
The municipality of Walvis Bay held a special council meeting to elect office bearers for its 2024 term. Trevino Forbes was re-elected as the mayor, while Sara Mutondoka was re-elected as a deputy mayor. The management committee now consists of Richard Hoeb from Popular Democratic Movement, Ronald Bramwell from Joint Walvis Bay Residents Association, Leroy Victor from Independent Patriots for Change, and Olivia Andrews, also from Independent Patriots for Change, with Paulus Kaundamwa from SWAPO elected as an alternate member. Hoeb was elected as chairperson of the management committee. This video was courtesy of Nikano Nangolo. After selling, the Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment. Stay tuned.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Thank you for staying with NMH at 1. We now take a look at what the lead stories are in Namibia's daily newspapers. Starting us off, the Namibian Sun reports that senior figures of the South African Police Service have held meetings with Namibian Police Inspector General Joseph Chikongo, in part to help secure a criminal conviction against a man suspected of using stolen police guns in $1 million heist at South African President Cyril Ramaphosa's Palapala farm. Major General Matipa Solomon Makgato, head of South Africa's Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, known as the Hawks, quietly visited Namibia between the 24th to the 28th of July and met with Chikongo and other Namibian police senior figures. On page 3, a company plans to realize the government's long-cherished plan to develop Cape Fria Bay into a large port. Kaoko Fria Investment is set to build the Atlantic City metropolis in the hinterland of the harbour. Developer Michael Petrus also wants to develop a separate green hydrogen project near Puros. Petrus, the founder of Kaoko Fria Investment, has officially commissioned the environmental study for the project. Cape Fria is located in the Skeleton Coast National Park in the former Kaoko land on the same latitude as the Etosha Pan and is part of the Kunene region. On the front page of the Republican, court proceedings have been hampered in recent days due to an outbreak of chickenpox at the Windhoek Central Prison. Approximately 200 affected prisoners in the awaiting trial section cannot attend court proceedings until further notice, and proceedings have consequently been postponed. According to the Namibian Correctional Services Commissioner General Raphael Hamunyela, it is unclear how long the accused will be in quarantine. They are relying on the advice of medical staff to determine when it is safe again for the accused to attend court proceedings, he added. Hamunyela said about 10 prisoners were diagnosed with chickenpox last Thursday. The source of the outbreak is unknown. On the paper's page 3, local white maize production witnessed an upward trend following the 2018-2019 drought, with 2022 marketing season being the most successful, yielding a total of 98,824 tons. This marked an increase of 16,099 tons compared to the 2021 harvest season. According to the NAB, last year saw just over 1,000 local producers register for white maize, with a total of 32,127 hectares planted. On its front page, the Allgemeine Zeitung today leads with an article about the first official media engagement that the ambassador of the European Union, Anna Beatrice Martins, hosted in her residence on Monday evening. Ambassador Martins declared an absolute interest on the part of the EU to assist Namibia in its planned green transition. The Namibian president's plans in this regard have impressed the EU, and the €1 billion recently pledged to President Hage Geingob as representative of Namibia by EU President Ursula von der Leyen remain available for appropriate funding and investment plans. The paper's page 3 reports that about the Icelandic government, which has dismissed a demand from Namibia's official opposition party, the Popular Democratic Movement, whose leader McHenry Vanani insisted that the government should review its decision to award the controversial Icelandic fishing giant Samherji a grant of $13.6 million Namibian dollars. Samherji was the company which had been identified as the apparent corruption agency which made massive payments to apparently corrupt Namibian officials. That brings us to the end of the first half of our newspaper review segment. We continue with the second half just after the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Let's get right along with our newspaper review segment. The Namibian reports that the Oshakati Town Council has cancelled $7.3 million Namibian road upgrading tender after it discovered that the winning bidder falsely claimed to have finished similar projects in northern Namibia. The council awarded the tender to upgrade the Okahau MR92 intersections and Oshakati roads in August this year. The tender was awarded to Truth Investments CC, which is now being accused of not being truthful. The company stated in its bidding documents that it had improved Sam Nujoma Drive in the Oshana region for the Oshikuku Town Council, changing it from gravel to a paved road. On page 3, the Judicial Service Commission will for the first time conduct public interviews of candidates nominated to be appointed as judges of the High Court. The Office of the Judiciary announced yesterday that public interviews of 3 shortlisted candidates for appointment as High Court judges will be held in the Supreme Court in Windhoek on Friday next week. This is after the Judicial Service Commission decided in September this year to amend the JDC regulations to open the way for aspirant judges to be interviewed in public. The New Era's lead story reports that the government is being assertive in ensuring the process of commencing with the country's oil production is accelerated. This is according to Mines and Energy Minister Tom Alwendo, who said this is being done in collaboration with oil and gas industry investors to ensure that if all goes according to plan, Namibia should be able to extract its first oil within the next 4 to 5 years. On the paper's page 3, President Hage Geingob reiterated his government's decision to not deploy troops to the Democratic Republic of Congo as part of the Southern Africa Development Community peacekeeping mission. Last week, the SADC and the DRC government signed an agreement in Kinshasa for the deployment of troops to help quell the scourge of armed groups, including the M23 rebels in the eastern part of the mineral-rich Central African country. The decision to deploy SADC troops was reached at the SADC summit that was held in Windhoek in May 2023. The Market Watch reports that Namibia transported 1,065,008 tons of cargo in September 2023 compared to 1,157,055 tons and 969,870 tons that were transported in August, according to the Namibia Statistics Agency. Looking at the mode of transport, a total of 625,468 tons of cargo was transported by sea in September 2023, as opposed to 689,580 tons and 483,281 tons registered in August 2023 and in the corresponding month of 2022, respectively. In addition, a total of 317,972 tons of goods were transported via road during September 2023, as opposed to 415,835 tons and 342,624 tons that were recorded in August 2023 of the corresponding month of 2022, respectively. Now, after the break, we get into our economic news, and today we take a look at ShopRite, which has seen a decline in armed robberies. Stick around for the full story.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In today's economic news, ShopRite, South Africa's largest retailer, says it has dealt a major blow against crime over the past 3 years, securing over 1,700 years of prison time, including 24 life sentences for criminals. The company, which has a range of brands in its portfolio, including ShopRite, Checkers and USave, said in a statement on Tuesday it had also seen a year-on-year decline in armed robberies and burglaries, while successfully prosecuting a host of criminals who had committed crimes against the shop. It did not specify what these crimes were, but said the criminals concerned had received a total of 1,384 years and 3 months, including 24 life sentences in the past 3 years. This number swelled to more than 1,700 of the number of suspects still awaiting trial, but were behind bars due to ShopRite successfully opposing bail was taken into account. Now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 23.43 to the British pound, 20.30 to the euro, 18.52 to the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 60 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Looking at selected NSX stock closing prices, MTC stocks took an upturn of 0.10%, while Ichigo Holdings Namibia Limited stocks took a dip of 0.30%. The rest maintained. Local index and overall index closed on an upturn of 0.01% and 0.11% respectively. Looking at commodities, all commodities are down save for Brent crude oil, which took an upturn of 1.12%, now trading at $82.57 per barrel. We now expand beyond Namibia's borders to give you the latest news from the African continent here on NMH at 1. Kenya's parliament has banned the wearing of a unique suit named after the late Zambian president Kenneth Kaunda within the building. Speaker of Parliament Moses Wetangula said Kaunda's suits as well as traditional clothes were not welcome. Kenyan President William Ruto often wears them on official occasions. This has made the Kaunda suit, a safari jacket with matching trousers, popular with the political class. The suit is named after the late Zambian president who loved wearing them and made them popular across political leaders all over sub-Saharan Africa. The suit, which is also referred to as the Mao Zedong suit, is collarless and often short-sleeved. On Tuesday, Wetangula said his decision to ban the suit was due to emerging fashion trends that threaten the established parliamentary dress code. He noted that a proper dress code for men means a coat, a collar, a tie, long-sleeved shirt, long trousers, socks, shoes, or service uniform. For ladies, business, formal, or smart casual wear applies. Skirts and dresses should be below knee length and decent. Sleeveless blouses are prohibited, he added. Wetangula acknowledged that these suits had been somehow tolerated in the past, but that it was now time to stop that amid a threat to the parliamentary dress code. The banning of the suit has elicited mixed reactions on social media, with some wondering why African attire would be banned by an African parliament while others supported it. We'll now take a quick ad break and bring you international news from the rest of the globe.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news both on the WTA for women's and
In international news this afternoon, a U.S. military aircraft with 8 people on board crashed into the sea in western Japan on Wednesday, with fishermen reporting 3 people had been found, but that their condition was unknown. The Coast Guard said it had sent patrol boats and aircraft to the area where the tilt-rotor V-22 Osprey crashed off the island of Yakushima. Fishing boats in the area found 3 people in the surrounding waters, a representative of a local fisheries cooperative said. The crash occurred near the island's airport, where another Osprey successfully landed on Wednesday afternoon. A spokesperson for the prefectural government said U.S. forces in the region were still gathering information, added a spokesperson. The crash happened just before 3 p.m. with witnesses saying the aircraft's left engine appeared to be on fire as it descended, media reported. The aircraft disappeared from radar at 2:40 p.m. local time, Japan Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said. The plane, which can fly both like a helicopter and fixed-wing aircraft, is operated by the U.S. Marines, U.S. Navy, and the Japan Self-Defense Forces. The deployment of the Osprey in Japan has been controversial, with critics saying it is prone to accidents, while the U.S. military and Japan say it is safe. We'll now take a quick ad break and return with local and international sports news.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
We start off our local sports news with some great news indeed. Yesterday afternoon, Namibia qualified for the 2024 T20 World Cup in the USA and West Indies with its 5th victory, defeating Tanzania by 58 runs in the Africa T20 final at Wanderers in Windhoek. This marks the 3rd occasion that the Richelieu Eagles have earned a spot in the cricket spectacle since Namibia gained international T20 status in 2019. Gaborone United have announced that they have parted ways with Namibian defender Kennedy Mutenya with immediate effect. His contract with the club has been terminated due to disciplinary issues after fighting with teammate Khalolang during training before the start of the season. The Brave Gladiators, the national women's football team, have safely arrived in Ghana ahead of their crucial encounter against the host team in the Women's AFCON tournament. The Gladiators will play Ghana on the 1st of December in Accra, and the return match will be played in South Africa on the 5th of December 2023. After the break, international sports news.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Getting straight into our international sports news, South Africa's two-time Rugby World Cup winning captain Siya Kolisi tasted victory on his Racing 92 debut as they beat La Rochelle 32-10 in Paris to take over the #1 spot in the French top 14 table. The 2023-2024 UEFA Champions League group stage is reaching the sharp end. Get abreast of the second batch of fixtures coming up on match day 5. Liverpool and their Premier League counterparts West Ham United and Brighton can all clinch spots in the knockout phase of the Europa League this Thursday with a round of group games to spare, while troubled Ajax face elimination from the competition. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1 and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibia.